Hello once again, this is Earl Bryant coming at you from the New York City suburbs of Long Island. And it's time once more for Pearls from Earl, where it is my mission to educate, edify, and encourage excellence in every area of your life. Today's Pearl is simply called Prove Yourself Wrong. And most people hear that and they think, don't you mean prove others wrong? In this case, no, I mean prove yourself wrong. And let me tell you a story to illustrate. When I was in 8th grade, I tried out for the school's baseball team. Thought I had a good chance of making it. Thought I did okay with the tryouts. And after the last day of tryouts was over, the coach told everybody, if you don't make the team, go play Little League during the summer, come back and try again next year. Well, unfortunately, I didn't make the team. But I took his advice to heart. I played Little League during the summer, got some good experience, played some ball games. He played on a pretty decent team. I had a good time. But I never forgot what he said. And I kept that date on the calendar the following school year when tryouts would start for baseball. And that's all I thought about the entire school year, because I wanted another shot. So when tryouts came around in 9th grade, I went to tryout for about 2 or 3 days, did my best, left my best on the field, and said, just let the chips fall where they may. And as it turned out, I made the team. Not only did I make the team, I was a starting outfielder. Played most of the games. Had a pretty good season. In fact, our school that year had the second best record in school history. And the very last day of the season, yours truly got the very last hit, which drove in the winning run, which gave us a perfect home record, 7 wins in 7 games. But as good as that was, it got even better when the game was over. Because you see, before the game, I met my coach's father. We exchanged pleasantries. And he came to watch us coach. When the game was over, we're in the locker room and I'm handing in my equipment and my uniform and such. And the coach did something that never happens. Never ever happens. He reached into the bat bag as I turned in my equipment. He pulled out the bat that I used to get the last hit to drive in the game-winning run, and he gave me that bat and told me I could keep it. That never happens. I said thank you very much, and I was pleasantly surprised, but that wasn't the best part. The best part was as I turned in my equipment, I went to the locker to grab my books and to leave the locker room. Just as I was walking out the door, he said loud enough for me to hear, and I think he did that on purpose. Pointing to me, because I saw him out of the corner of his eye, he said to his father, I don't know why I cut him last year. As good as it felt to get that game-winning hit, and as happy as I was running the bases for that last time as the winning run scored, when he said that to his father, I was walking on air. Now, I felt at the time that the coach had basically admitted he'd made a mistake the year before, and I had proven him wrong, and I'd worked as hard as I could to make that team. And I thought that the whole mission from one year to the next was to prove that coach wrong and to get myself a chance. But that wasn't true. These many years later, I realized that it wasn't the coach I was proving wrong, it was me. Because you see, when I didn't make the team in 8th grade, I did have some doubts, even though I didn't admit it. I doubted that maybe I wasn't as good as everybody else. I doubted that maybe I didn't deserve to be on the team. Maybe I didn't belong on the team. And I worked hard the following year thinking I was going to be proving that coach wrong, when in reality I was proving myself wrong, and I was putting a lie to all the doubts that had been running through my mind, that had been telling me that maybe you're not good enough and maybe you can't do this and maybe you just shouldn't bother. Well, if that was true, I never would have tried out a second time. But I had to put that to the test and see if indeed it was true. and I was able to prove myself wrong, and I was able to get a great victory out of it. More than just making the team, more than just playing winning baseball, because our team that year had the second best record in school history. More than that, I was able to prove to myself that I could overcome that challenge. There might be a time in your life, maybe even now, when you're facing an uphill battle, you're facing a challenge, where there might be naysayers or people that are doubting you, and they are working on you to the point where they've almost got you convinced that you can't do what you say that you want to do. Reminds me ever so slightly of a football team in the mid-'80s, the New York Giants, who were terrible for about 15, 17 years. They started turning things around in the early 1980s. They became fairly successful, had some playoff teams, but it wasn't until 1986 when they finally won a championship for the first time in 30 years. And I remember seeing the victorious locker room. NFL Films showed a documentary of the team, and in the victorious locker room, the coach called all the players around. The coach was Bill Parcells, and he said something to his players I'll never forget. He said, "Men, for the rest of your lives, nobody can ever tell you that you couldn't do it, because you did it." And there are a lot of people who are walking around with a boulder-sized chip on their shoulder called doubt, thoroughly convinced there are things in their life that they want to do that they can't do. You might be one of them looking at this right now. I invite you, and in fact, I challenge you to confront that doubt, to challenge that doubt, make a liar out of that doubt, and conquer that doubt. I had to do that for myself. I've had to do that on more than one occasion. There are teams in professional sports who for many years were told they couldn't win the big one until they finally did it, and they had to overcome that mountain, and then they finally stood as champion, and they overcame that self-doubt. It wasn't doubt from others, it was doubt from themselves. And the message I have for you is this: you can't prove it to others until you prove it to yourself first. So if you are carrying doubts which you may have adopted from someone else, you need to confront those doubts that you've been carrying. You need to challenge those doubts, and you need to apply yourself to overcoming those doubts so that you can wind up conquering. And just like I did that day when I was 15 years old, when I had my coach pay me a compliment, thinking that I had proven him wrong for letting me on the team when he took me off the team the year before, I realized it wasn't him that I was proving wrong, it was me. And if I didn't prove myself wrong, and I didn't overcome my own doubt, there's no way that I would have got my coach to overcome his regarding me. So I'm telling you, if there's any mountain that you want to climb, if there's any challenge that you want to tackle, if there's any doubt that you want to dispel or overcome, don't look to the outside, look to the inside. Prove it to yourself first before you prove it to anyone else. You can do it. I did, so can you. And that is today's Pearl from Earl. It is my hope that you got some value out of what you just heard. If you did, please do me the honor of giving me a like or a thumbs up. And don't be stingy. Share the wealth with someone that you believe can benefit from this information just as much as you have. If you're on YouTube, please subscribe also so you can get some more content like what you have just heard, because I will be very happy to share the different pearls of insight that I've learned over the years that I believe can help you in your daily life to excel in every area and every challenge that you face. There are people that I have come across just this past year who have shown me how to confront any limiting belief that I've had and conquer self-doubt by challenging it and putting light to it and shining the light of truth on it and giving myself the opportunity to become all that I can be, both personally and professionally. If you believe this group of caring, committed individuals can do the same for you, that they can help you to excel in every area of your life. I invite you to click the link that is below this video if you're on YouTube. If you're watching on Facebook or any other medium, please do indicate in the comments that you would be interested in knowing more about this group, and I'll be happy to send the information to you so you can have the opportunity to check them out for yourself in your own good time and at your own pace. In fact, there's a trial membership available, 10 days for $10, and you can find out what the group is all about and see if what they have to offer is a good fit for you. And if it isn't, you can just request your $10 back before the 10 days are up, and they'll be happy to refund the money to you. Again, this has been Earl Bryant in the New York City suburbs of Long Island with another Pearl from Earl. I hope you got some value out of this. It's been my privilege and honor to share this with you. And until the next time when we gather around, well, I hope to see you right back out there. This is Earl Bryant signing off from the New York City suburbs of Long Island, saying take care, be blessed, and be well. Bye for now.